Ow, man! Welcome to the Frickcast. Today, we are ranking every single Dr. Squatch brick. Finally, after nearly a year of soap guides, we're finished, and it's time. We've reviewed every bar, we've ranked every OG, and we've ranked every limited. But now, we'll put them all together. 43 bricks. Now I want to keep this video as short and to the point as possible, so we're going to just briefly go through each. Check out the soap guides if you want a more in-depth breakdown of any individual brick. Now I'm not going to use my usual tiers. Instead, we're just going to slam these out in order, starting with number 43, the Cold Brew Cleanse. I've trashed this brick a lot, but I'm not the only one, as I think many in the Squatch community dislike this bar. The main issue is the coffee grounds. It's not so much that they're too rough, but they make an absolute mess as they easily come off the brick and make a mess of your skin and the shower. Besides that, I like the scent. It's coffee and brown sugar, and I think underneath the grounds there is a solid bar, but in its current state, I'm ranking it as the worst OG and the worst overall brick. At 42, we have the Cedar Citrus. Never really cared a whole lot for this bar, and it seems I wasn't alone in that. This is the only OG to get discontinued, and that was for good reason. The bar was just straight up cedarwood oil, lacking any sort of citrus, and it felt overall pretty lackluster. I used to wonder why Squatch always put this bar in bundles with the likes of the pine tar, alpine sage, and bay rum. I thought it must be popular, but now I think it was just to boost its overall sales. At 41, we have the Dark Side Scrub, the first Star Wars brick we'll talk about today, and one some may disagree with, but I really don't see the positives about this bar. Sure, it has Darth Vader on it, but the charcoal smoky scent is non-existent. The heavy sand-based grit is non-existent. It's a very disappointing bar that is easily outshined in terms of scent and grit by others in the Star Wars collection. 40 is the Chalky Milk, a brick I just don't like very much. The chocolate scent is one that smells disgusting to me. It smells very artificial. The medium grit is again barely there, but to the bar's credit, the lather is really nice. It feels alright to use, it's just held back in my opinion by a weak, putrid scent. At 39 is the Gold Moss. We're done with the negativity, and on to what I consider to be the most basic of Squatch bars. This to me is like the starting point of any brick. And why is that? Well, the Gold Moss is just one of two bars without any unique ingredients. It's as bare bones as it gets. It also has a relatively weak scent, although it's a sweet, earthy one that isn't bad. The brick itself is okay, it's just, again, very basic and easily improved upon. 38 is the Bay Rum. This is the other bar that lacks unique ingredients. This time, however, it at least has a really good scent. It's a sweet, Caribbean spiced smell that is one of the better ones of an OG. There's a reason the Bay Rum flavor is a prominent one from Squatch, but in soap form it's kinda forgettable. 37 is the Only Hope Soap. Again, this is an okay bar, just sort of a basic one. The scent is on the lighter side, being a thyme and clay smell, but overall a bit underwhelming when compared to just about every other bar. I think they could have done something better for Obi-Wan. 36 is the Resistance Rinse, another Star Wars bar, this time the Ray brick from the second collection. Overall, the second collection was a big improvement over the first. However, this is easily the weakest of the bundle. The scent is a bit too floral for my tastes, and the light grit is better described as 0. It's not bad, but not great. 35 is the Freedom Fresh. It's hard to not be disappointed with this bar. Instead of a strong, in-your-face scent that you'd expect from an American boy, we have a pretty weak one overall. The scent that is there is good. It's sort of a refreshing beach type of scent. It's a solid bar, a fun bar, but just lacking in any real firepower. At 34 we have the Ruthless Rinse. Another Star Wars boy, but now we're starting to pick up the niftiness a bit. This Darth Maul bar is pretty cool, and actually does the character justice. It's a spicy, fruity, exotic type of scent that helps it to stand out. It feels pretty good to use and has a nice amount of grit, certainly more than the Dark Side Scrub. The bricks from here on out are much improved. 33 is the Summer Citrus. Back to the OGs, we have the newest addition, the replacement for the Cedar Citrus. It's certainly an improvement over the Cedar Boy, but it's not exactly some amazing brick. It's good, it has more of a lemon type of scent, and the light grit is nice. It's a solid addition. At 32 is the Spartan Scrub. This Halo Boy is one that may end up higher on this list next time we do this, as it keeps growing on me. This is one of those that's maybe a bit niche. I think many will hate it, while some will absolutely love it. The scent is the polarizing part. It's a very strong, metallic type of scent. Something you may smell in a wood shop, or, as the bar is going for, a Spartan forge. Fundamentally, it's a well-made brick. The scent is strong and unique, the grit is nice, and the bar feels good. It's just not gonna be for everyone. 31 is the Spidey Suds. Another bar that's maybe polarizing, this Spider-Man collab makes for an interesting brick. The scent is mostly berry, but can also have like a body wash type of smell at times. I find the scent to be both pleasant and somewhat unpleasant. Overall though, it's a decent bar with a solid amount of grit and cool, unique ingredients. 30 is the Alpine Sage. This OG used to be a favorite of mine, but it's fallen a bit. It's a smooth, gritless brick that stands out due to its trademark scent. It's a floral, herbal type of smell with heavy notes of lavender. While it's an okay scent, it can seem a bit artificial and perfumey. It's also a bit intense. Still, I don't mind this bar, but it's not one of my favorites. At 29, we have the Crypto Cleanse. This crypto and NFT limited caused a bit of a stir when it was dropped, and I think lost in all of that was that the Crypto Cleanse is a really good brick. The scent is powerful, mostly banana, and the bar feels really refreshing and good to use. 28 is the Stone IPA. This is a fan favorite and a collab with Stone Brewing, featuring some of the best unique ingredients in a bar with beer, hops, and menthol. The menthol gives the bar a nice cooling sensation, making it really chill to use. The scent is one of the weaker ones, unfortunately, which hurts its rank, but when it's there, it's a refreshing one of citrus, beer, and hops. This brick is also one of the coolest you'll see. I'd really like for this one to be re-released. At 27 is the Eucalyptus Greek Yogurt. Perhaps a pretty underrated bar. This boy of course features eucalyptus and Greek yogurt, as well as an oatmeal-based grit. It feels great, as it's a deeply moisturizing bar that's great for your skin. The scent is mostly eucalyptus, so sort of minty and earthy, which may make or break it for you. Personally, it's not my favorite, but I do overall like this bar. 26 is the Moon Rock. This is just a nifty looking brick from the Galaxy bundle. The scent is unfortunately rather weak, but it is a clean type of smell. This bar is also the grittiest on this list, as the pumice here is very heavy. It's probably too much for most people, but it helps this brick separate itself from others on this list. 25 is the Area 51 brick. I like putting this Galaxy Boy with its Moonrock counterpart, as I feel both are great bars, but not exactly top tier. This Alien bar though is much more practical than the Moonrock, as it's a smooth bar with a much stronger cactus scent. It's an overall solid and refreshing brick. 24 is the Suds of Darkness. The Kylo Ren Boy. I was pleasantly surprised by this bar, as it does just about everything quite well. The scent is strong, it's more of a cologne type of smell, but it smells clean. The grit is nice, and the bar feels good. Nothing really bad to say here. 23 is the Grapefruit IPA. This is one of the most underappreciated Squatch flavors. The scent is one of the most refreshing there is. It's a nice grapefruit smell. It features beer and hops, but maybe doesn't feel like the deepest clean of a Squatch brick. Still, I love the scent of this bar and wish the flavor got an expansion. At 22 we have the Werewolf Wash, the first of the Halloween trio. This is another all-around solid brick. The scent is strong and again more of a cologne type of smell, although it's sweet and reminds me of cola. The Forget-Me-Not Seeds based grit is good and the bar just feels overall solid. 21 is the Riddler Enigma, the first of the Batman bundle. This is one of the strongest scents on this list, and it's a nice green apple one. This bar is another that's refreshing and feels good. The bar may not be top tier, but it's one with a lot of positives. At 20 we have the Spearmint Basil. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about this brick. It's arguably the strongest scent on the list, with a powerful spearmint smell, but it smells kind of like gum. So not exactly one of my favorites, although it's not bad. It's a smooth bar that some absolutely love, and others not so much. Again, it comes down to that overpowering spearmint smell. At 19 is the Sinister Scrub. This is the Emperor brick, although it kind of feels more like a fall brick. The scent is strong and jammy. It's sweet and fruity. It features black currant seeds for grit. I really like this brick overall, but it's probably not what most are expecting from such an evil bar. 18 is the Legendary Lather, the Luke Skywalker Boy. This is a bar that I instantly liked. The scent is another strong one, and this time it's a grassy smell. The bar is sleek and nifty looking. It's smooth, no grit, and feels good to use. That grassy, breezy scent though is what carries this brick. 17 is the Cool Fresh Aloe, the first Squatch brick I ever used, back before it was reformulated. With the addition of real aloe, I feel this bar's only gotten better. The scent has really grown on me, becoming one of my favorites. It's sort of an herbal, earthy, aloe scent, and it works in any form the flavor takes. It's a deeply moisturizing and nourishing bar that is just all around great. At 16 is the Wisdom Wash. This is the last of the Star Wars bars, and my personal favorite. This bar always impresses me whenever I use it. Something about it just works very well. The scent is refreshing, it's citrusy and herbal, and is one of my overall favorites. Lotus leaf is a fantastic, unique ingredient, and the bar even features some grit, even though it's listed as 0. It actually has more than the Dark Side Scrub. We've come a long way in quality since then. At 15 we have the Black Hole, another badass looking bar from the Galaxy Bundle. The scent is strong and is mostly a peach tea smell. Apricot Stone gives it some grit, but otherwise it's a smooth, sleek bar that does just about everything great. At 14 we have the Irish Cream and Whiskey, a St. Patrick's Day boy. This boy is slammed with unique ingredients like stout beer that make for such a deeply moisturizing brick. The scent is mostly a mocha one, giving off Irish coffee type of vibes. It's a great bar that's one of the best zero grits out there. 13 is the Pine Tar, Squatch's flagship and most advertised bar. The brick has a heavy pine scent as well as heavy grit with oatmeal and sand. It also has pine tar for one of the deepest, most intense cleans. It's a really unique bar, and while I don't consider it to be exactly top tier, I definitely understand why it's so popular. I don't have any complaints with it. At 12 is the Woodbarrel Bourbon. The grit isn't quite as strong as the Pine Tar, but it's certainly there. What everyone loves this bar for, though, is the scent. It's an oaky, fall type of smell that instantly became one of Squatch's signature ones. The flavor is a great one in any form it's in, including brick. At 11 we have the Snowy Pine Tar, one of the bars I've really risen on. This Christmas brick is a fantastic one. It's going for a Christmas tree vibe with real balsam fir as well as pine tar. But to me it's just one of the best woodsy scents on this list, if not the top one. It's also a deep cleaning bar with some grit, and overall just an amazing brick that deserves a flavor expansion. We've now reached the top 10, with the Frosty Peppermint, the other Christmas boy. This has always been a favorite of mine, and while it may seem straightforward, it's one of the most unique on this list. The scent is peppermint, like a candy cane, and the bar has 0 grit. Instead, it's kind of chalky. The biggest positive about this brick, though, is the menthol crystals that give some unique properties. It has a cooling, chilling sensation on your skin that feels great. It's just a very chill bar. At 9 is the Batman brick. This bar is such a badass one. The scent is one of my favorites, and it's a leather smell. It's an interesting choice for a soap, but one I like and one that fits with Batman. It has some grit to it and feels good to use. It's my favorite Squatch collab and one of the manliest bars on this list. At 8 is the Mars bar, the last of the Galaxy Boys. This is a great bar that perfectly fits the Mars theme. The scent is strong, it's like cinnamon candy, and I think that works well actually. The pumice gives it a nice grit, and it features some good unique ingredients. It may be a little too gimmicky for many people, but I think it's a great bar overall. 7 is the Fresh Falls. This is one of Squatch's most recognizable OGs, as well as flavors. That's for good reason. It's a clean, refreshing, waterfall scent that works great in every form. It kind of reminds me of Squatch's take on a more generic body wash type of smell, but whatever the case, it's an amazing scent. It's a smooth, deeply cleaning and hydrating bar that is one of the first I'd recommend to any new Squatcher. At 6 is the Coconut Castaway. This was the first official light grit bar with coconut shreds. It also features some other coconut ingredients to make one of the most moisturizing and best cleaning OGs out there. The scent is more pina colada than straight up coconut, but it's one I think is great. I really don't understand why Squatch hasn't turned it into a deodorant or hair kit yet. Now for the top 5, starting with the Drunken Pumpkin, the second Halloween boy. One of my favorites and one of the community's favorites. This might be the best overall scent offered by Squatch, with a full spiced bourbon smell. The scent was actually repurposed for the Woodbarrel Bourbon's release, which is why this brick was never re-released. It's gritless and features ingredients like pumpkin butter to make it just as nifty to use. I think it is a better bar than the Woodbarrel Bourbon. It's a shame this brick is the only one to never receive the new packaging, and one we'll likely never see again. At 4 is the Bow Chicka Wow Wow. This Valentine's Day boy is one I feel is underrated. The scent is a delicious chocolate strawberry smell that works surprisingly well. It's a smooth bar that features red wine and actual aphrodisiacs. It's kind of a funny brick, but also one that just smells and feels incredible. 3 is the Birchwood Breeze, one of my favorite bars and overall flavors. I can't get enough birch. The scent is more vanilla but has a birchy undertone, resulting in a very unique and nifty scent. The bar also features one of the best grit levels too, thanks to pumice. The brick has a creamy lather to it, feels good to use, and is just great in every way. At 2 is the Brick of the Dead, our last Halloween boy and highest rated limited. This bar is a perfect example of how creative Squatch can be. The scent somehow perfectly captures that spooky graveyard vibe, and the ingredients and look of this bar fit the overall theme. It has a really good amount of grit to it, in that ideal range, and it feels solid to use. I just love everything about this bar. And at 1, the top Dr. Squatch brick is the Deep Sea Goat's Milk. The king keeps his throne. This is my favorite OG and overall bar. It's more on the simple side compared to some of the previous ones, but that certainly doesn't hold it back. Goat's milk is one of the greatest unique ingredients in a brick, and along with the oatmeal-based grit, make this bar one of the deepest cleaning, moisturizing, and nourishing bars in the entire lineup. The scent also doesn't hold it back, as it's a great smell, one that reminds me of seafoam. While I would say that many of the previously mentioned bars are perfect, I think the Goat Boy is hands down the greatest Squatch brick of all time. Truly, the GOAT. And there you have it, every Dr. Squatch bar ranked. Now I'm curious to see what you guys think of my list. Where do you agree and disagree with my order? Be sure to let me know your own rankings as well. I'd love to see which bricks are your favorites and least favorites. As always, thanks for watching.
Yeah, man!